Dice Company contains fantasy violence, mature themes, and unapologetic bickering. No feelings were hurt in the making of it, but listener discretion is advised. Dice Company will always be free, but it's not free to make. Please consider supporting us on Patreon or Apple Podcasts and get access to our weekly roundtable show Extra Roll. Just follow any of the links in the show notes for this chapter.
In the town of Misery, dust and the staccato clank of gears and the distant thump of engines above. A pair of automatons stand atop a rise of churned earth, metal plates pitted by wind and drill cutting. Thoren, a figure half shadow, half polished steel, watches the horizon, where the air fleet of shale has formed a dark ring. Beside him, a first officer moves with precise economical gestures, joints hissing, ocular sensors scanning.
Perimeter report. Orbiting craft at 8 points. Bombardment vector probable. Ground crews estimate shelter integrity at 62%. We can fortify. We can buy time.
Time is counted in breaths, not minutes. Encirclement means they do not come to parley. They've come to fracture. Fortify. Raise the blast shields at the eastern splice. Divert drill power to the ring pylons. Make this place into a wound they cannot close.
Acknowledged. Initiating shield triangulation and hammer seal protocols. Elite units ready to implement subterranean directives on your mark.
Thoren's gaze flicks, not to the sky, but to the scarred centre of Misery, where wooden homes once stood and children once ran.
My brother rides with them. He will find me. He will claw until he finds me.
For a beat, there is only the sound of wind between rusted girders.
Protocols allow for retrieval attempts. Probability of engagement with personal affiliate high.
Then we shall make his path a ruin. Send the elite below. Sink the center of the town. Open the maw we've kept sealed. Unlock every dormant defense and every closed position. Release the buried constructs. We will let the earth itself be our blade.
Deploying elite vanguard. Subterranean actuators engaging. Command. Unlock sealed nodes. Power the sleeper arrays. Initiate center sync sequence.
Thoren steps forward, voice finishing the order like a verdict.
My brother intends to find me. I don't plan on making it easy. Prepare the Bergen for my arrival.
The first officer inclines its head, servers whispering as lines of automatons funnel towards unseen hatches. Far above, the sky tightens as the ring closes.
We will see what he and his friends have to offer.
While below, something ancient and terrible begins to stir. Welcome one and all to Dice Company's Small Embers Chapter 89, where a group of friends weave tales of triumph, heroism and despair under the guise of playing Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Tom, and I'll be your DM for the continuing adventures of this group of sneaky Dungeoneers. Sneaky Dungeoneers, please introduce yourselves and tell us one fun fact about your characters.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm playing Seek Sorrow, and I have yet another fact from my kids.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear. And the fact is simple. It is that Seek Sorrow picks his nose with his axe.
Jesus.
I love
High
it.
risk, high reward.
Love it. It's the best fact we've ever had.
In what way is it high reward?
Yeah. You look cool.
No, I think this is what happens when you phone it in by asking your kids and then you say some seemingly sensical thing afterwards and then you get called out. I think that's where you are.
I'm going to reply to you once I've got the kids to find something funny to say back to that.
To add to that, I unfortunately got threatened by a small child picking her nose with a toy dinosaur and threatening to wipe it on me the other day.
Was it your own child?
It was a low point. No, she was laughing uncontrollably as a result.
Of course.
Of course.
I didn't think there was a segue in that, so I just want to say hats off to you both. It's amazing.
Magnificent.
Hi, I'm Harry, and I play Tok, an imposing 6'8" automaton.
Hey!
And this week, Tok's analysis of available physical encoding examples in the human's impressive extended phenotypical library has resulted in an intriguing potential discovery. Repeated, consistent coupling of specific symbols within the endings of the larger but intermediate-sized symbol structures called sentences. There is a potential associated minor phonic pairing or induced rhythm affected. Tok hypothesizes that these vocal anomalies are subconscious and go unnoticed by the humans. The null hypothesis would be indicated by any associated words describing the phenomenon. The experimental method will include the use of high probability pairings, such as Vander and Panda, Seek Sorrow, No Tomorrow, Oak Flower, Spoke Dower. Results will be published in Tok's quarterly journal.
Charlie seemed to experience genuine physical and emotional pain during that.
I mean, for a while I thought I had the thread, and then right at the end there, it went through the last door of weirdness, and I lost it. For a minute, I thought all you were saying was the way you say things is important. And then, obviously, the end happened, and then the tide came in, and I was washed away.
Oh, you poor fool. You tried to follow that, did you?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and lost, very precious mind beads or whatever I measure my life in.
Mind beads.
I don't know. I'm severely damaged from what's just happened.
Clearly.
Clarification for the transcript. Mind bees.
Yes. Yeah, I figure. Mind bees. I don't know. How do you measure your life? How many mind bees do you have?
It's
and
the
did you
measurement
waste
of
them like I
life
did?
That's the problem. Like if it was measurement of intelligence, at least it would sort of work. I mean, not really, obviously.
Well, look, it's a new theory, and to be fair, at least you understand what I'm going for.
I don't. I clearly don't.
Oh.
I use it as a measure of success for my fact.
Just listen, apropos of nothing, I don't think Dom has that many mind bees.
Buzz.
Can't understand what I'm saying. Hi, I'm Charlie, and I play Vander Finnick. In rare moments when the ship is quiet, Vander hears the occasional whispering beneath the floorboards. It's been some time since he killed what he believes to be the Hushed One's familiar, the Rat King, and yet there has been no response from the Dark God. This leaves only one possibility. The whispers are the response. The question now in Vander's mind is, what can they mean?
Ooh, I like that one.
Ominous.
DM's got ideas.
I really thought the DM was going to answer in the voice of the Rat King.
Yeah, I feel there's a low-tone challenge there back to the DM saying that storyline needs picking up.
The Rat King is plotting against Mr. Vander Finnick.
Oh, I figured as much.
And he's enlisted some help from dear old Cuthbert.
I knew it. That much of the plan was clear.
Hello, I'm Dave, and I play Petron Oakflower.
Does he play Petron Oakflower? Do we believe him?
Interrupting! Yellow card!
My fact today is a very simple one, and it's just an item that I need to canonize. As some listeners may recall... No, it's all right, DM, you won't mind this, I don't think. As some listeners may recall, Petron found the remains of 2 furbolgs in Frost Hollow, and they came with the group as they travelled eastwards. I would like it to go on record that Petron buried those remains respectfully in the grove in Sanctuary, and all bones were intact at the time. Tok.
So you didn't need the rendering cauldron.
Oh my God. So you guys are actually going to war through fun facts. I don't hate it.
I just don't understand why it was directed at Tok.
He's lying. That's a lie as well.
One of the worst things about living in Alestia would be, right, we've conducted that funeral, and those bones are buried. For now.
Actually, technically, would they count as crafting components? They are magical creatures.
Do not make me answer that question.
This is why all the bones are safely in Sanctuary.
For now.
This feels like an advert for joining the Emperor.
Yeah, at least the trains ran on time.
It's because of the deep gnomes were excellent at running, or are excellent at running them.
I don't know why you'd employ deep sleep gnomes on your
Deep
underground rail network.
gnomes. They are deep
I mean, maybe
gnomes.
exactly. That's the Emperor's big mistake.
Some housekeeping. If you don't already, please follow us on YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Come join us in the Discord, the greatest TTRPG Discord server in the entire world. Leave us a review on your podcast app of choice. Like us, recommend us to your friends or enemies if you don't like us, although quite why you'd be enjoying the 89th chapter if you don't like us is a little confusing, to be brutally honest. They might be hate listening, in which case I encourage it.
Give us your hate. It fuels.
Would you like to upgrade to our Patreon?
Speaking of Patreons, thank you, Al. It is now my pleasure to hand over to salesperson extraordinaire Dave to explain why supporting us on Patreon is worth your time.
Holy moly.
The void of an autumnal Sunday. The empty hours stretch out before you. You search your mind for how to fill them. But nothing. Then a quiet, comforting song starts to play in your head. Patreon. Oak flower, it has got the power to get you early access to Dice Company. Patreon. Oak flower, you will never sour on getting your name read out in the credits.
By me.
Yes, it's the Dice Company Patreon, where members at all tiers, including free, get early access to episodes of Small Embers and its accompanying podcast, Extra Roll. Say goodbye to scratching around for things to do at the weekend. And at Sweetheart tier and above, your name will be added to the credits, and there's every chance the DM will name an NPC after you at some point too. That's the Dice Company Patreon, removing existential dread from Sundays since 2023. The end.
Good lord, that was perfect.
Where do I sign up?
If I sign up multiple times, does that decrease the existential dread commensurately? Or
Yes, it does.
well, there we go. All my questions answered.
It's weird because this hasn't even been broadcast yet, but I've just looked and our Patreon is now full.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sign up now for free tier and above to see if Dave can win with most subscribers added with his Cthulhu Saturday morning television cartoon / BBC presenter from the 1940s.
Yeah, it got the jumble, didn't it?
Wow. It's creative.
Or hit multiple touch points or keystones. I'm not in marketing, but
I was aiming for Graham, who did the recap from Blind Date, but I never quite hit it.
I mean,
can I ask
Great
though,
shame.
is the nucleus of your marketing genius the suggestion that people can maybe fill the chasm as void of their weekends with Dice Company? So presupposing that the only people we're going for are people who look at their weekend with a kind of dread.
Do you enjoy your weekends, Chuck?
Well, not now, I don't.
When you've had as many baths as you can reasonably have on a Sunday, there's Dice Company.
that was very good. I don't know what to say about that. Who would like to go next week? Who's next up to the batter's plate? Charlie. Tune in next week for whatever the fuck Charlie comes up with. And please remember, by squirming out of our dungeon of indifference and wriggling from our self-centered vault of unawareness, love can conjure up an aura of metal opulence and an inkling of infinity. So let's turn the page on the next chapter of Dice Company. Okay, so this is going to be slightly different from our normal adventures as we are going on a dungeon crawl. You guys have the map to the... Ow, something to say?
It's slightly different in that we're going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that's right. You're actually going to fucking play the game for once.
We're all going to die.
I think we might be coming up on a dragon here, guys.
So you guys have the map, which is, I'm sure is all in front of you because you're well organised.
We're pros.
Well, there's a look of panic right there from everyone except Harry. So in terms of entrance points, you guys are effectively surrounding the town with the rest of the fleet and bombarding them in a non-death to Petron's entire species way.
Mm-hmm.
Or as Vander mentioned last week, we have to be, wildly cavalier with civilian casualties to make sure they're not used as a human shield?
I said we have to be prepared to make things look as though we're going to be wildly cavalier.
Didn't we establish that most of the furbolgs are underground, so there's minimal risk?
We did.
Just a couple of hundred or so.
You say the word and we'll fire some cannons.
I'll fire your cannons.
Run out the long nines, boys.
So in terms of entrance points that I know that Harry mentioned that he has a plan, so we'll all hear what that plan is.
Yeah.
But where would you like to enter? You have the main entrance on the west side, which are a set of steps. You have, there is a collapsed area sort of in the middle. So if you could work your way through cracks in the ground above.
Avoiding the lava.
And avoid the lava, you can enter through that area. And there is also an entrance to the south and two to the north.
Hang on, we have to choose our entrance point and you're not telling us where the treasure is.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
He's just pissed we cracked his last dungeon, so this time we're getting the weird.
I think
Yes.
I would say that narratively, it doesn't make a load of sense to go in through the main entrance because you would assume that that's going to be the most central to the town and most protected. So if we're doing our
Narratively, you mean commonsensically?
yeah, but if we're doing our bombardment, then going in through the main door doesn't make sense.
Well, that's south, the little sticky out bit right at the very bottom looks kind of out of the way, like a little sneaky entrance we could go into.
It does please my OCD to work through the dungeon from the bottom to top as well.
Makes sense.
Did you say the whole dark grey area is all basically open to the sky? Or there are cracks to it?
There are cracks to it. So it's not all open. Some of it is under what remains of the ground above.
Okay. Tok's insertion plan, dungeon penetration plan, it will be able to pass through very small cracks to get to the dungeony goodness if we need to.
Could we possibly rename everything you just said?
Okay, sorry. Captain Seek Sorrow's dungeon penetration plan.
I'm willing to accept it.
So if we're going to slide in through a crack, where would that take us to in the actual dungeon map?
Sort of the central piece. So there's a corridor that you can see running over.
Oh, that's right in the middle of lava. That seems like a...
Wow, this is a big map. They are small pings.
Yes.
Do we want to drop straight into the lava? Why don't we just come in through a side door?
Well, we don't have to actually drop it into the lava. We can fly, so we can land to the side of it and choose a corridor. Presumably, right, Dom?
Correct. So what are you thinking? Talk to your Uncle Dom. Don't know why I went that accent. Sorry.
Coming from the south, work our way up, kill our way to the truth.
This room down here.
Yeah, don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
I mean, actually, to be this one over to the right here. Sorry, over to the east, over this way, isn't. Oh, it's got an exit, but it's not attached to anything else. Actually, I suppose this one also doesn't have any. It's only got one exit, so we can't be ambushed quite as easily there. It's definitely safe.
Okay.
He doesn't know anything. Okay, Harry, would you like to explain how you guys are getting into this place?
Briefly, so it will involve. Tok has. They look like basically a large spherical jelly that you're going to have to press your fleshy faces into until they cover your head. Then enter into his cloak, the extra dimensional space, which is nicely all set up with cushions and it's like he's made the floor like a big sofa. And you'll find that you're able to breathe for more than 10 minutes because of the face jellies that do obviously send tendrils into your nose and mouth. And whilst in the cloak, Tok is going to fly down from the Sterling invisibly and enter the dungeon. A little bit before we get into the crack, he'll also come into the cloak so that we can fit through the crack in the lava.
So basically just the old invisible face jelly flying robot.
Exactly.
Scenario.
Classic.
Deposited on the floor, we can all climb out of the cloak together and
remove our face jellies?
Yeah, you can remove the face jellies once they're done. I think. I will check. Put the face jellies back in the cloak because we might be able to use them later if you're lucky.
Vander peels the face jelly from his mask, which kind of sticks to it slightly, and then pushes it back into the cloak.
Even for you, Talk, that was disgusting.
As he straightens himself.
The jellies are technically alive.
Ah, how lovely.
Vander says, moving away from the cloak.
I don't feel good, Vander.
Nor do I seek sorrow, but we are here.
And Vander begins to look around to observe our surroundings.
Vander, the floor to the north, where you've just flown over, gives way to a chasm and hot, bubbling pool of lava 30 feet below you. Intense heat fills the room that you're stood in. You do notice, with your magical eye, a 10-foot wide spectral bridge. Nothing more than a flat plane of wispy magical force which extends across the chasm from this room to another ledge 120 feet away. To the south of the room are 2 pillars carved with scores of eyes which flank a stone double door engraved with a giant letter H.
Vander taps the ethereal bridge with his cane to see if it goes straight through.
It does not. It bounces off as if it were the ground.
Anybody who goes to the sort of trouble required to conjure such a bridge, no doubt, had reason to bestow something on the other side.
Maybe we're on the other side, Vander. We just came down through the ceiling.
Indeed. Of course, there are also the rather interesting inscriptions on the wall,
Vander says, looking at the eyes. Are they following us, the eyes, or are they still?
The eyes are still. But you are definitely getting a sense of some kind of magic coming from the stone double doors that they flank.
Arcana check!
What is an Arcana check, Vander?
Give me an Arcana check.
Yes. Here we go. Kicking these off with a 21.
Very, very nice. There is an undetermined magical power beyond the doors. Your years of studying draw you towards it being a rune of some kind. You cannot, however, tell whether the rune is a benefit or a opposite of a benefit. The word escapes me at the moment. What's the opposite of a benefit?
Detriment?
Detriment. You can't tell if it's a detriment or a benefit.
And Vander, Seek Sorrow is obviously unaware of all this magic stuff because he doesn't know anything about this, so he's just wandering up to the door to give it a knock or a push.
Caution, Seek Sorrow. There is a high degree of magic contained within those doors.
Oh, okay. What should we do?
I think I'd like to go through the doors. Petron is visibly wilting. I don't think I've ever been so warm in my life. What? There's a lake of fire. Oh, goodness me. Let's go south through those doors. Get away from it.
Petron, if you wish for cold, you may enter the unrelenting void within my cloak.
What a line that is.
Like the unrelenting void of a autumnal Sunday. Let's go south. Why don't we go through these doors?
Caution, Petron. The map indicates the corridor ends merely 5 feet beyond those doors. I would hypothesize teleportation magic, a portal.
A rune, to be precise, Talk,
says Vander, stepping forward.
I sense its presence, though whether it is a boon to our cause or a negative remains unknown.
Caution would be advised.
Quite,
Vander says, tapping his way towards the door.
DM, Seek Sorrow, if there's like a stone or a stick on the floor, Seek Sorrow would just like to pick it up and chuck it at the door just to see what happens.
You pick up a stone, throw it at the door, and it ricochets off. No effect.
I think it's a real door, guys.
Excellent work, Seek Sorrow. You truly are at the cutting edge of science and exploration all at once,
says Vander, dripping sarcasm.
Seek Sorrow touches the peak of his bicorn captain's hat.
I see.
And then Vander gets right up to the door now. Is there anything else I can observe about the door? Any traps, checks I can do? Anything else that I might be able to...
You can give me a perception check to check for traps.
Or investigation, isn't it?
I think it's either. And I think there was a You know what? I'm not going to get into it. There's an article I read about it that said perception rather than investigation.
23.
23. Excellent. You investigate the stone doors. The doors themselves do not have any traps. However, you are certain now that if the doors were opened, the rune would be activated, and whatever happens with the rune would immediately be inflicted upon those who are stood within a cone shape in front of the door.
I see.
Did anyone else pick up on the word inflicted?
Good things can be inflicted upon you. I assume inflicted means things that you are not expecting or wanting.
Good things may be inflicted in the lava demon. Lava dungeon.
Yes, the dragon will be very angry.
Gentlemen, I suggest we can test this rune by pressing against the walls while we open the door.
In what way would that be a test, Vander?
Well, if the rune means us harm, its activation will spread out across the opening of the door and the bridge.
What would you suggest for a test subject, Vander?
I believe that we will need no subject at all, Tok. It will simply pour its venom or joy out of the door, and at which time we will observe its effect.
Tok isn't going to wait for Vander to discuss this. He's going to move to the side of the wall, just in case Vander decides to do it before he moves to the side wall.
Most wise.
Yeah, Petron will go to the side as well. Let's just get on with it, shall we?
I like that you said let's get on with it, making sure that you were in no danger.
Yeah.
Vander does likewise, and I am going to use Telekinetic Hand.
Oh, lovely.
The long-awaited return.
It's back.
Vander shuffles to the side, and then he moves as if he's still by the door, pressing forward. But of course he isn't, and yet the door opens.
And it flies open, revealing a stone wall with a giant elder rune carved into it. Vander, please roll me a d12.
Seems positive. That's a 4.
It's dragon.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Oh, God, no.
He's amused himself.
Is it penis bees?
Not bees.
You recognize the rune from your studies of the books in the library of the Citadel. This relates to the deity known as the Hushed One. Fuck. That's a hell of a roll, by the way. Oh, Christ alive. Okay, we're going to do the first effect first. Vander, please roll me a d8.
Oh, my.
Was there a version of this where it was just like M&Ms or something?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the hushed one.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
Multicolored rays of indigo light blast out from the room in a cone shape. You have all very cleverly hidden yourself against the wall and are unaffected by the damage. Vander, please roll me a d6. You want high.
I've got a 4. Is that high enough?
That is just high enough. Okay, all 4 of you are suddenly wrapped in a bright green light, which coils itself around you. Rather than damaging you, however, you feel a boon-like effect. For the next hour, you do not need to use spell slots in order to cast spells.
Okay, it's on.
Kill them all!
That's literally the best boon you can get, you
Oh my God.
I hate you guys in dungeons! This happens every fucking time!
I am the hushed one!
Does Vander say that out loud?
If it helps, I gain nothing from that.
Thank you, Al.
It does.
That's why you're my favourite.
I just stand here and take the damage.
No damage, no damage. So I will make note of that. You have 1 hour of effectively unlimited spellcasting.
I'm going to move by Misty Step only. Gone are the days where Vander moves from point A to point B. I will simply not be in one place and then be in another. Bees. Sorry,
bee. Oh, we're back to bees.
It feels like a bees episode, I'm afraid.
Vander, I have detected a high etheric field.
The power.
Says Vander, looking at his hands.
Indeed, it is what powers my body.
I feel truly alive, Tok, truly alive.
Energy now crackling from Vander's hands as he looks down.
Vander, please control yourself. I do not wish for another Benny situation.
I'm going to do lightning bolt just across the room. Not at anyone. Just going to demonstrate my awesome powers.
Okay. You cast the spell not at anyone.
Yep, I'm just going to take out a piece of rock.
And with a boom, which echoes through the space to the north.
Vander, may I request you cast stealth?
Careful, Talk.
You see Vander's finger pointing at you.
Indeed. Petron, I request that you cast stealth.
What you are? Yeah. Petron casts Pass Without Trace.
Tok's going to investigate the door that is to the west in this room. The one he's kind of standing next to whilst cowering from the rune and everything.
And the awesome power of Vander.
Yes.
Petron would also like to cast Find Traps, please.
Way.
Ooh, okay. Talk to me about find traps.
I've got a theory about what it probably does.
Is it something to do with bees?
Almost
Explodes them.
So I can sense the presence of of any trap within range that's in the line of sight. A trap for the purpose of the spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable.
Okay, and the range is?
120 feet.
Good lord. I forgot you guys are quite powerful now.
Yeah.
You cast the spell and you find a trap to the north, 40 feet along the invisible platform. There is a trap built within the arcane magics that create it, which would summon an unseen servant that would attack whoever steps on it.
Well, I'll relay that information to the group. Okay. Can we now go through the door, or is that now a dead end?
The door to the south is a dead end. There is just a wall with a rune on. So your points of exit are to the north or to the west.
And presumably there were no traps to the west because they would have been detected.
You haven't opened the door as yet, so line of sight does not apply down that corridor.
Okay. Well, in which case, Tok will open the door. So he's going to stand on that side and sort of pull it open so that he's not exposed to whatever is behind the door immediately, like you were a SWAT team clearing a room. Tok's going to be professional about this.
While you're doing that, Vander casts False Life, Mirror Image, and Mage Armor.
And Seekzara goes, "Oh, thank you, Tok," and wanders through the door.
So
Petron hides behind the pillar.
So, okay, let's be clear. Petron is hiding. Tok has SWAT teamed open the door and Seekzara just walked through like it's nothing. Meanwhile, Vander's in the back just casting a series of defensive spells on himself.
Also, concentration.
I don't walk anymore, I float, by the way.
Actually, technically, Tok can do that as well. He has a magic item.
As Seekzara walks past Tok, he glances back at Vander, and under his breath to Tok, he says, "I'm not sure what's going on with him, but I don't think it's good."
He appears to be mad with power.
Naked raw power!
You hear from behind you.
Yeah, but more than usual somehow.
Vander, I request you clothe your power.
I'm casting Prestidigitation. I now glow blue.
Vander, what makes you so sure we've got endless magic?
I sense it coursing through me, Petron.
But aren't these runes associated with the Hushed One? Does that mean the Hushed One's been down here?
Who?
The Hushed One, Vander.
Yes, the Hushed One, of course.
Vander says.
Is he connected with this location somehow?
I'm sorry to change the subject, Petron, but I believe it important that we chase down the enemy immediately.
Petron, it is possible that Thoren is using the Hushed One as a source of power.
Right, you are, Top. That would make sense. Well, we need to find him quickly while we've got all this magic.
I would find that to be acceptable. Is Seekzara still alive?
Yes, okay.
In which case we'll follow him.
Right. Seekzara... Right. Fucking hell. Okay. Tok, you open the door and the corridor is a perfect rectangle of interlocking iron and bronze plates. Every angle machined with inhuman precision. Massively segmented columns flank the opening. Their riveted joints are the size of dinner plates. The rock face that you can see in amongst the metal glitters with crystalline veins of precious metals. The air exhales stone dust and the scent of metal, carrying faint echoes from down the corridor.
So just to be clear, is there anything in that description that tells me that this is dangerous? So interlocking, these are kind of patterns and things
It's just
against
a corridor.
the wall. Yeah. Okay, so it's an ornate corridor, but it's not. There's no obstruction in the corridor itself.
No.
Tok will follow him after you've...
I guess I'll go down to where the corridor splits and have a look both ways.
Excellent.
Petron's going to hurry after him.
Stop. Where you are, just for a second.
I've got spot traps, Al.
Good thinking.
Says the man rushing ahead. Vander.
Well, I was trying to get away from the evil emperor dude who's glowing and casting copies of himself. And
I was trying to get away from all the Vanders.
Yeah.
Sixaro, having walked through the corridor, I'm just going to move you back to where I need you to stop. As you walk down the corridor with a very laissez-faire attitude, you feel a pressure plate suddenly click beneath your feet. Please roll a d20.
Well, I can't see how this could possibly be bad news. That's a 9.
Just to see exactly what constitution you gain, presumably.
Or where he's been teleported to. Caution, seek sorrow. Please remain spatially located.
I'll do my best, Tok. I'm not sure I understand what that means.
And as you say that, there is a blip as you disappear from the corridor you're in.
Seek sorrow!
Alarm. Seek sorrow has failed my instructions.
Oh no. Don't worry, Al, you've got unlimited magic.
I feel so reassured. I feel so loved.
Remember all the magic items you got?
And with a woof, you have reappeared behind Vander.
Wow.
And Sixaro sees all the Vanders and the glowing Vander that's hovering off the ground and emitting sparks of magic and just goes, oh, bloody hell.
At this point, Vander has cast Seeming. I now float in the air and look like Ming the Merciless. Glowing blue, I slowly turn to just float and look at Sixaro.
I think Ming the Merciless was a joke we had years ago. I'm pretty sure it's Ming the Merciless.
Yeah.
I look like Ming the Merciless. Or the Mercy Floss.
Him too.
Mercy floss. Right, okay, Tok is both going to cast Intellect Fortress on himself, and he's also going to creep up to where Petron indicates the trap was, and put a small red flag on the ground next to it, indicating its location.
Vander cast Polymorph. I'm going to send a giant beast down that corridor and it could just trip all the traps.
You are the giant beast, right?
Nope, I'm not the giant beast.
Who are you polymorphing?
Oh yeah, good point. What's the other one that I could do? Stand by.
The walls!
When you went through the trap, Seek Sorrow, a voice rang out through the corridor that said,
Alarm, interloper! Get out of here!
We've been detected, Sixaro.
says Vander, floating in the air.
I don't feel very well, Vander. I didn't like whatever just happened, and you're frightening me.
Prepare yourself. The time for fighting is at hand.
And Vander turns and begins to float towards the corridor.
Well, I think I might just sit down here for a minute. Sixaro crosses his legs and sits down on the floor to think about life.
Vander doesn't appear to notice. He's just crackling and moving away.
Yeah. Vander's got full megalomania.
Before he gets here, Toxin has a... Petron, I request you lead. Your eyes are attuned to the hazards of this dungeon.
Right, you are a talk. And Petron will head forward, spamming find traps as he goes.
Oh, that's it. Gamify it down to nothing, you sons of bitches.
Infinite spell slots.
Look, I didn't want you to roll that.
I hit the first trap I saw.
Still the best. So you get to the end of the corridor, and there is now you can now either head in a southerly or a northerly direction.
Well, no, the main complex appears to be to the north. So if we're looking for Thoren, it makes sense to go that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think that it would make sense not to charge right to the end. He may well be off map, because there are quite a lot of exits to this place.
Yeah, that's true.
Vander begins to float north.
Caution, Vander. I suggest Petron is to detect traps within the corridors before we advance.
The three floating Vanders spin to face you.
Of course, of course.
And then they turn back. but paused in the hallway.
At least let Petron look.
So Petron starts slightly tentatively heading northward along the corridor, which kind of snakes in an S shape as he follows the curves around.
Oh, whilst we're walking, can Tok work out what... you said there were like metals and gemstones in the walls being held back. Can Tok, does Tok know what they are? Give an indication of what they're looking for here.
You are welcome to use your tinker's tools if you would like to investigate them. It will take time.
Yeah, I think somehow, time is of the essence at the moment. It's more, does Tok recognize them, or is it...
You recognize some of them. You recognize some of the kind of precious gemstones, so rubies, diamonds, sapphires, etc., all the classics.
Oh, okay, so a lot of, but clearly a high concentration in this place.
Huge concentration. Unusually large concentration, in fact.
Interesting. And yet, they're not mining out this bit, so they must be after something even more important.
Where's Seek Sorrow got to? Is he with us?
Seek Sorrow comes kind of plodding down the corridor like a dog that's just woken up and is looking for its owner.
Seek Sorrow, mind the pressure plate indicated by the flag.
Yeah, got it, Tok. I've already stood on that one.
Seek Sorrow, we seem to have, I know this doesn't impact you in the same way, but we seem to have some sort of unlimited magical power, and none of us know quite how long it's going to last, so time really is of the essence. If we can find and confront Thoren before this wears off, it'll give us a massive advantage, so we need to move.
That's all right. I don't have unlimited magical powers, but I can still run, so off we go.
Incorrect, Seek Sorrow. Your axe is functional and will not degrade with time or use.
That's very encouraging, Tok. I'll try not to... I mean, I hadn't really planned even to wear my axe out today, but let's if we do have to do a lot of chopping, that is extremely good to know. And Seek Sorrow edges around the blue hovering form of Vander, giving him a wide berth.
You notice that Vander has manifested a kind of pen-like thing in one hand, which he's holding lazily. It's emanating extraordinary amounts of crackling blue light.
Gary pencil.
Gary pencil.
Seek Sorrow says, "Oh, bugger this," and he mutters alarm and downs a pint of beer from his never-ending tankard.
The words echo down the corridor.
Alarm.
And Petron leads us all to what appears to be the entrance of another chamber.
Before you is a partially destroyed room, dimly lit by the lava at the bottom of a nearby chasm. Part of the chasm's ledge is a spectral bridge similar to the one you saw in the last room that connects to the previous one. The vibrant green paint that once adorned the walls has mostly peeled off from the chasm's extreme heat.
How old does the room look? Does it look like this has been here a long time, or is it...
Unlike previous ones, this looks like a room that existed before any drilling or digging began to take place.
But we're quite far down under Misery. It's like a sub-basement kind of thing, or does it look like it was a dungeon?
It looks like there might have been a dungeon here before that has been effectively excavated further. So a small dungeon originally that has now been expanded out.
We keep coming across these magical bridges. Do you think it's worth us stepping across them?
If we wish to get to the other side, Petron, yes.
Thanks, Doc.
In terms of actually, is it worth exploring that way? Probably. Do you want to go up? I mean, if we do that, we'd end up... Well, it depends if there are more of them around. But, we could explore basically around kind of anti-clockwise.
I say we take the bridge, assuming there's no traps on it?
Well, we'll see them if there are.
Yep, you identified one trap, which I will highlight for you.
Well, I guess Petron will begin by scanning around this room.
You don't notice any traps within the room. It looks free of traps.
Well, that felt phrased in a particular way, didn't it?
I've got my Dungeon Master voice on.
Vander begins to float out into the room.
And the moment you step into the room, you hear a yell. And through a wall appears a ghost. I am Harold Van Veen, and you will pay.
Avada Kedavra!
And Vander's going to cast lightning straight away.
That's it. But Vander, he's already dead.
So I cast lightning, and from my stretched hand, a blue bolt fires. So that is actually at level 5, which is a Constitution saving throw for the ghost.
Oh, good lord. Ghosts notoriously not constitute. That's an 8.
Hasn't been training for its marathon.
Has not. With an added d6 for each level above, which is
It's a lot of d6.
10d6, please. You absolute monster.
That is 40 damage.
Okay, the lightning bolt, pre-prepared, blasts from Vander's hand directly into the chest of the ghost. As you watch it hit that pinpoint place, you recognize the symbol of Tyr, which is on a breastplate that this ghost is wearing. It smashes through his chest, creating a small hole, which then closes back up, and he draws his sword. Roll for initiative!
Oh my god, he's not dead?
He's not dead!
Oh, gonna change that.
It's definitely a bit of a blow, though, to his self-esteem.
16 for Vander.
12 for Seek, sorry.
4 for Tok. He's standing at the back.
18 for Petron.
Top of the round with Petron Oakflower.
Does a ghost count as a creature?
Yes.
I exploded.
I hate questions like that so much.
I've got weirdly little magic that's going to do anything to a ghost.
Oh.
Do you have anything that can power up your friends?
Yeah, I really need a buff.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Seek Sorrow.
God Emperor Vander is currently floating next to him.
Power, veteran. I hunger.
I'm wasting away.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit it. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to march up to the ghost.
Pop it on the nose.
And smack him with my quarterstaff.
Excellent.
Oh no, sorry, I'm not going to use my quarterstaff. I'm going to use my lovely sickle.
Cool.
That's a 19. 3 slashing.
Describe the... actually, it's a ghost, so it's half damage. So it's actually just 1 slashing damage.
Just so you know, that is a 1d12 plus 2.
You've rolled a 1 damage, wow.
Impressive.
Is it not a magical sickle then?
No, you just bought it in a shop.
Oh, okay, it's just a sickle. Okay, well.
Petron grasps his sickle, pulls it over his shoulder, and strides towards the ghost, and has an enormous swing at him, an agricultural swing, if ever you saw one. The dual-purpose nature of this weapon on clear display, and he just kind of nicks him on his ghostly ankle.
It just goes through like a hot knife through butter, seeming to do very little effect.
I'm going to disappear out of embarrassment.
The rest of you see with a pop, Petron disappears. Next up, God Emperor Vanderfinnick.
End him.
Vander continues to float towards the ghost. We're going to float just there. And again, the hands extend. And Vander casts Cone of Cold.
Okay.
At the wall, I assume, right? Right?
Yes, yeah, I'm angling that so that obviously it only catches.
Damn you, Harry! I almost had him.
I'm aware there's an invisible coward to the ghost, right?
Petron's hoping to catch a little bit of the cold. It is extremely warm in this lava, and a little bit of a chill. I was considering casting frostbite on myself earlier.
That is a natural 20 for the Constitution saving throw.
So you're reduced to half damage then. Let's just see the roll before we laugh too much. That is, I'll call that 15.
Yeah, okay.
15 damage. Vander's hand raises, and this time a jet of icy cold spreads from it towards the ghost in a cone shape. The wall behind the ghost is peppered with ice and shards of cold, and the ghost is hit with a storm of freezing blizzard-like snow, taking 15 damage as the ghost is twisted in the winds.
Mercy is a luxury the powerful only grant when it serves them,
says Vander.
I don't like how much you're enjoying this.
I've really found my natural speed, I think.
Seek Sorrow.
Seek Sorrow, unable to do really all the kind of crazy bells and whistles that people are currently up to, is just going to walk to the opposite side of the ghost from Petron, thus gaining advantage, I believe.
Indeed.
And he's going to swing his big axe at the aforementioned spectre.
Swing away, dear boy, swing away.
Natural 20 for 29.
Uh-oh.
None of you fancy lads with your magic. Hit him with an axe.
I don't think Tok's going to need to take a turn, is he?
That is 28.
Absolutely massive. But not quite enough.
Seeksora gets a second attack.
Oh dear.
So on the backswing, he's going to do the same thing again. And this time, it's a 27. And that is 9 slashing damage.
Terrifying series of rolls you managed to make there.
It really was. 29, 27, 26, and then just a random 11 in there.
So he swings once, and there's an enormous crash as the kind of axe powers through the ghostly form, and then Seeksora just swings the axe backwards and smashes it into the ghost once again.
And as the sword whips through the body, the ghost is now looking quite faint, but it is still in existence.
Who gets next turn?
And next up is the ghost of Van Veet.
Alarm. Prepare for temporal realignment.
Beer starts coming out of Seeksora's pocket.
Seeksora, please give me a charisma saving throw as the ghost attempts to possess you.
Ooh. Not what I was expecting.
Now, that is a natural 1. However...
Can I counterspell as well, by the way?
You can counterspell, but this isn't a spell.
Ah, okay, got you. Oh, shut up.
I've got Indomitable, so I can re-roll a saving throw that I fail. If I do so, I must use a new roll. So I can do that?
Yes.
You don't want to be possessed, is that it?
That's a 9.
Is a fail.
Do we know what he needs to hit?
13 was the DC.
Okay. Tok is going to use his unspeakable genius to tell Seeksora to... Seeksora, keep a hold of yourself! And thus adding 5 to his saving throw.
Perfect. Seeksora mentally attempts to keep a hold of himself, clearly understanding Tok's instructions.
Just as the ghost looks like it's about to possess you, by moving into your corporeal form, it bounces back out with an angry look on his face. Son of a bitch. Damn you, Tok, and your fucking unspeakable genius. I hate it.
So just for a note, Tok is actually standing around a corner still from the fight, so he must have poked his head around the corner to come back. Hasn't even made it in the room yet.
Right, the ghost is going to use its 2 withering touch attacks also on Seeksora. First one is a 20.
He has armor on now. Is he okay?
AC is 18.
No. Should have carried a shield.
Please take 12 necrotic damage. And with the second attack is a 7, which is a miss. So, irritated that he was unable to possess you, he reaches out with a finger, which he places on your forehead, causing shivers and pain to emanate from the top of your head all the way through your body. The second time he attempts it, however, it has no effect. And that is the end of his turn. Tok.
So both Toks cross the turn the corner. Tok and Little Tick, kind of big Tick now, and I think it's just time to attack. So Tok is going to move to attack with the Dark Blade, and Tick is going to stand next to Vander to try and, well, I was going to say to guard him, but doesn't seem entirely sensible considering all the glowing that's going on.
And the lightning that's just bursting out of him at random points.
Good point. Tok is actually going to stand slightly to the side. Maybe, yeah, slightly to that side. And why not? We might as well go down so we get proper actual. Okay. Tok gets a natural 20 for a 31 to hit.
Hits.
Unfortunately, rolls a 1 for his damage initially on there, so that's 16. I think that's put the crit on automatically, hasn't it? Yes, it has.
Yes.
Okay, for 16 magical damage.
Tok, please tell us a story. He had 1 hit point. 1 hit point, people.
Oh, that feels so unfair and yet delicious. Tok walks up beside where the invisible Petron is, draws the dark blade, but sort of draws it out pommel first, and the pommel hits the ghost in the nose. Tok sort of like misjudged the distance slightly, and that like shatters the ghost's nose, causing it to, before Tok like raises the sword in preparation for a deadly strike, only to find that the ghost has already sort of dissipated before he can make it.
And with a scream, the ghost of Van Vliet dissipates all over the room. Good job. Probably could have just got him on your side if you'd just spoken to him. But anyway, moving on.
It appeared to be a ghost of a paladin. I noted a symbol of Tyr.
What does that mean, Tok? That isn't Tyr? Well, he was Augustus' champion, wasn't he? So
That is correct.
why would his paladin be fighting us?
He was a ghost. He may not have been himself.
Well, didn't we fire lightning at him before he really even said anything?
There is that, I suppose.
Seeksaro's eyes turn on the Vanders.
Gently crackling in the corner.
Silence is often the loudest form of protest.
Says Vander.
Incorrect, Vander. Often louder protests have been made.
Power isn't taken, Tok, it is yielded.
Why do you think all this magic's gone to Vander's head?
I believe you are correct, Petron.
Yeah, you are being particularly weird, Vander.
Make people dependent on you, Seeksaro. Independence breeds betrayal.
Vander, stop talking in just gnomic phrases and talk properly. Have conversations with people.
Wise never strikes first, Petron. It strikes last.
Query. Shall we investigate the corridor to the west, or the magical glowing blue bridge to the east?
The bridge.
And Vander begins floating in the direction of the bridge.
And as they go that way, Seeksaro says to Petron, there used to be a little gnomish restaurant in Frost Hollow, and they would give you a little biscuit at the end of your meal, and there'd be a piece of paper wrapped up inside it, and it said on those paper all this kind of stuff that Vander's saying now. I don't quite know what that means, but he seems to be saying those little biscuit messages.
I know the sort of thing you mean, Seeksaro. He's gone very odd. We need to keep an eye on him. He's a bit of a loose cannon at the moment, even more so than usual. I'm a bit concerned about what he might do left unchecked.
Yeah, what does a ship's captain do with a loose cannon? I think probably tie it up would be the obvious thing. I don't think he's going to go along with that.
Tok starts taking a large iron chain from his cloak.
Well, I'll keep my rope handy. Just hold your horses, Tok. I think we should... I don't really fancy our chances with this Vander in this kind of mood, but yeah, maybe we'll call that plan B, shall we?
I did not think to bring a horse into a dungeon, Seeksaro.
Quick, hurry, he's getting onto the bridge. We need to catch up with him.
Yeah, Tok will follow along.
I love that Vander is just above all of this. He's just floating across lava.
Serene power.
Well, it seems to have turned into a
war.
sort of weird magic 8-ball that's, just floating away.
And with Vander floating above the lava pits, spewing idioms, you guys make your way towards the spectral bridge. And we will end it there.
You've been listening to Dice Company's Small Embers, starring Dave Windust as Petron Oakflower, Charlie Blackadder as Vander Finnick, Alex Morrison as Seeksaro, and Harry King as Tok, with Tom Patrick as your Dungeon Master.
The humans of Dice Company would like to thank the following sweethearts for their support. M. Corey Mack, Dave Patterson, Boy Genius, Sepulchre, Stennett, Marky B, Jenny the War Camel, Stephen Sikora, Nori Gosler, Mickey Arnold, Happy Daddy Scotty, Tika, Rabbi, Camel, Team #StayToxic, Path Pursuit, Paris Pakar, Julia Zeno, Shovels, Queenie, and an extra special thanks to our Council of Rojan, the Red Right Hand, Shelby Cat, purveyor of exceptional dice, S.J. Phionics, Zeus Legion, Richard Ungermas, Mama Strange, Axel Runholm, and Chris from North London.
God, are we like a found footage documentary about 5 people that make a podcast?
Abed!
I would watch that. Sad,
I
really.
feel like they'd cut out all the actual podcast now. As soon as we start doing the podcast, they'd like fade it down.
Fade to black.
We don't want to listen to that shit. Okay, middle-aged dudes roll some dice, and on we go. Back to the creepy doll that's behind Harry.
Oh, fuck's sake, not again, is it?
Not as far as I'm aware.
You should be more worried that it's not in shot. Where the fuck is it?
That's behind you, Chuck.
How do you know?
I always know.
Because of peer pressure.
Because of peer pressure.
I mean, is you bullying him peer pressure?
I'm his peer.
He's been applying pressure.
And you're also the editor of a peer-reviewed journal, proceedings of whatever the fuck goes on in Tok's warehouse.
Tok Quarterly.
Tok has no peers, but otherwise correct.
I sense it coursing through me. Seek sorrow. Petron. Whatever your name is, no matter. We've
Caution,
been detected.
they may be aware.
Everyone rushes to state the obvious. Come on then.
Lore.
Thanks for listening. Please consider supporting Dice Company on Patreon, where for the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to a whole other show, Extra Roll, as well as an ad-free listening experience. The Dice Company Discord server, along with our socials, can be found on our link tree in the show notes. If you enjoyed this chapter, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to recommend us to your friends. If you didn't like it, recommend us to your enemies. And we'll see you next time on Dice Company.